Today we're going to make muffins because we're teaching children to cook. My little helper is Gemma. Now Gemma, the reason we're doing muffins, it's called a quick bread method. Do you know what that means?
No.
No. Alright, if you make a cake, you whip up the butter and the sugar and the eggs. When you make muffins, you melt the butter or margarine with the milk and the egg, and you sift the flour and the sugar and maybe put berries and things in it, and then you mix it together just until it's mixed, put it in the oven and bake it. So it's really easy. So it's a quick bread. It's a quick method. Alright? And it's a really good one for children to do. Now, if we're going to make blueberry muffins, that sounds very exciting. We've got our blueberries. But we could use other things in it, couldn't we? Some children would like chocolate chips, wouldn't they? Or, Gemma, I know you're allergic to nuts, so we won't put nuts in, but other children may want nuts, mightn't they? Or could we use sultanas?
Yeah.
Or chopped apple?
Yeah.
Or maybe ginger? We could make them in lots of different flavours, couldn't we? Can you think of any others? Banana? It could be banana, couldn't they? So, really, now, if you may have a cake sifter, or you may just sift the flour like this. We're using 2½ cups, or 2¼ sorry, cups of flour. Now, you know when you measure the flour that you have to get it even on top? I've seen you do that, Gemma, haven't you? So you need to take the back of a knife and even it off. So we've got 2 cups of flour in here, and we need 1/4 cup more. Would you like to measure that for me? Come over here. And I'm going to measure 1/2 cup of sugar. Now, it doesn't have to be caster sugar. These muffins are good. They don't take too much sugar. So we're just going to put that in there. Yeah, put that in there. And then we just need to get all of this through. So if we just keep on knocking it, we'll get it all through. And this is going to make them a bit lighter, isn't it? If we sift it. We wouldn't have to sift it, but I think it makes it better. So this takes 2¼ cups of self-raising flour, 1/2 cup of sugar, and then 1/2 cup of margarine or butter. Could you get the butter for me, Jem? I put it over and was weighing it. We want it to go into the measuring cup. Gemma, well, we've just melted the butter or margarine, and now we need to add 1 cup of milk. And maybe the easiest thing to do is just to add it to here, and then we can have it all in one container. So, if I just pour this in here, we want it to go to 1½. Okay. Now, we need one other item in our liquid, and that is an egg. Can you break the egg in for me, please? I'll move it over here for you. Well done. Now, Gemma, would you be able to get me a fork so we can beat this? Thank you. I'm just going to make sure we beat that egg. Just need that much beating. Now, do you remember what did I say about a muffin method? We're going to put the wet into the dry and mix it, but we're not going to over-mix it. Okay, so that's beaten up. So we've got a big spoon here, so we can just add this to here. And just, would you want to stir it for me? We don't want to stir it too much, just fold it over, just so that it's going to be all wet, but not beaten. Now, I've got blueberries, and I'm just going to take these and give them a quick rinse. These are very big blueberries. I think we're going to have 1 blueberry per muffin. That's looking pretty good. We might add the blueberries. So you can see we're really not doing that much stirring. We're just trying to get that flour around the edge. And now, with another spoon, we're going to load it up into the muffin tins. Today we're using a silicone muffin tin, and we're using the tiny ones because then they're just going to be mouthfuls. So I think we're just going to put 1 blueberry per muffin tin. Do you think that would be about right? Because these blueberries are extra big. Hey Jemma, well, you know the blueberries were so big that we had more blueberries than mixture. Less blueberries than mixture is what I'm trying to say, isn't it? So we're going to add a little bit of sultanas. Do you think it's a good idea?
No.
Let's just mix those up just a little bit, and we'll make a few more. We have 1 blueberry left there, but that's all right. Okay. Now, you can just fill the little bit bigger ones with the sultana mixture, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm going to put these into the oven. I think that these are going to be absolutely delicious, Jemma. Now, Jemma, all good cooks clean up, don't they? So we'll put these to bake in the oven. When I'm cooking with silicone muffin tins, I always put them on a tray because they're a little bit hard to manage, aren't they? All right. And we'll put that timer on for about 30 minutes. Well, Jemma, I think they're just about done. They look really good. The ones in the big ones are not quite brown, so we'll just give them a little bit more at the top of the oven, maybe another 5 minutes. Now, I think we should let these cool for a couple of minutes before we try to take them out, don't you? What do they smell like? Blueberry muffins. What are you going to do with them?
Take them to school.
Take them to school. How many are in your class?
18.
18? How many muffins do we have?
I
I think we've got 24. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you were doing multiplication tables, weren't you? So 6 times 4 is 24?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I think this has been very successful, hasn't it? But if you weren't taking them to school to share with your friends, they could go in the freezer and you could take some to school for your school lunch, couldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Right.